Hi, and welcome to the Conservation with a Click podcast. I'm Diana Bencatel, a collections conservator, and I'm here to explore the amazing world of collections preservation with you in a relaxed and accessible way. Before diving into today's topic, I'd like to share that I've gathered some essential tips in a small free guide on how to handle and store books safely. Those little habits that really make a difference in keeping books in good condition. If that sounds useful, download it for free. You can find the link in the episode notes. Today, we will address a very important topic for anyone concerned with collection care, or how to identify and control insect activity around heritage objects. This is particularly relevant for collections that are more vulnerable to insect damage, such as paper-based materials, furniture, or ethnographic collections. In reality, infestations can range from small, almost invisible pest presence to severe outbreaks that may threaten entire collections in libraries, archives, and museums. I know this is a challenge for many, so in this episode I will share some tips to help protect collections from insects. Fortunately, there is a highly effective approach to dealing with this issue. It's called Integrated Pest Management, IPM. This is a set of strategies that includes prevention, monitoring, identification, and control. 4 steps. Let us explore each of these strategies, starting with prevention. As the saying goes, prevention is better than cure, and this applies perfectly to pest management. The ideal approach is to prevent infestations from occurring. Once an infestation is established, it becomes far more complex, time-consuming, and costly to resolve, not to mention the potential loss of heritage materials. So, what can we do to prevent insect activity around collections? Ensure good air circulation within spaces and avoid any microclimates. Clean spaces and furniture regularly, if possible using a vacuum cleaner and dry cloths, and avoid the use of water. All new acquisitions entering the collection should undergo a quarantine period in a separate space for about 2 months, ideally sealed in a bag or box, and those new acquisitions must be inspected and cleaned before being integrated into the main collection. In addition, avoid having carpets, plants, food, beverages, and animals near collections. This helps prevent creating favorable conditions for insects to feed, hide, and reproduce. Then we have the second and third steps of IPM, monitoring and identification. Actually, early detection of insect activity is essential. Some insects are harmless, such as spiders or flies. The situation gets worrying when you find, for example, lots of silverfish or even just one wood-boring insect like woodworm beetles or a termite. To understand which insects are present and in what quantities, monitoring should be carried out. This is a simple and cost-effective task. Just place sticky traps near walls or shelving units and regularly check the traps. A monthly inspection is a good practice, and record the types and quantities of insects captured. Collections should also be checked regularly for signs like eggs, larvae, or small piles of frass, a powdery dust left by some insects, that show insects are present. It's also key to train cleaning staff to spot these signs so they can report them even if they clean up afterwards. Now let's talk about the fourth and final step of IPM: control. If an infestation is identified, do not panic. Begin by isolating the affected objects to prevent the spread of insects to other materials. If possible, objects can be placed in sealed and transparent bags or boxes. The preferred approach is to use safe, non-toxic disinfestation methods such as anoxia treatment, which eliminates insects by replacing oxygen with inert gases. Freezing and heat treatments are also increasingly used. However, these should only be carried out by trained professionals who understand the appropriate temperatures and procedures required to avoid damaging the materials. Please avoid using chemical products as these may damage collection materials and pose risks to human health. The most important step is always to ask specialized professional for advice so infestations are treated correctly. Protecting collections from pests is an ongoing process. As you saw, using the 4 steps or strategies of integrated pest management: prevention, monitoring, identification, and correct control, you can avoid lots of damage, cut costs, and keep collections safe. And we have reached the end of the episode. Thank you for listening. If you found these strategies useful, consider sharing this episode with a colleague who might also benefit from it. For example, someone who needs help preventing pest issues or dealing with an existing infestation. And don't forget to download your essential guide to preserving books. Just click the link in the episode notes and download it for free. And if you haven't yet subscribed the Conservation with a Click podcast, now is a great time to do it so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Wish you all the best and see you in the next episode.